Motivation in motion. Own your moment and get better today.
15 minutes, it was straight fire. Like, I was just present. Like, I don't even know what I was doing. He's like, you look so comfortable. And I was like, let me remind you of what a good friend told me. I'm like a duck. You just see what's above the water. I'm hiding the rest.
We did a little deal for Jack Dobbins. And and it's in the Hall of Fame at Kansas City. Mm-hmm. It was like a 3 or 4 minute segment type deal. They wasn't like this is. Mm-hmm. And a lot of former players would make a little video.
Okay.
What Coach Dobbins do. It's like, he was. Mm-hmm. I was blessed to have a guy like him in my life. He was just a great Christian man, great coach, and besides, he taught more than basketball. And I told him, and I really blessed because I got to tell him before he passed away. He said, "Coach, I'm just a branch off your tree. I'm just I would never be where I am today without you." Yeah. I told him that. A lot of guys can't do their coach that way. Can't do it. I mean, it's too long or too far away, or they forget. Mm-hmm. And then my high school coach passed away just like a couple years ago, about a year ago.
Wow.
Out of named Ryle. And anyway, that's some things that I'm glad I got to do.
Right. Well, what's going to be interesting is when we air this, and we'll let you know. I have a feeling, with social media and the things that go on, I hope a ton of your guys that you've coached that are now coaching, maybe they're raising their family and the impact that they had. That's the part that I'm really excited to see, is to see what happens on the other side of this. And I went with the original intent when John asked me to do this. I needed a simple goal. I just hope that your family looks at what we created today and is blessed by it, and that's a simple goal. And if we do that, it'll be okay.
Yeah, I think when I'm gone one of these days, like I said, they can go back and say, hey, look here.
That's exactly right.
That's I appreciate that.
And we'll capture all that, and I think when we get to tie it out to the stories, we're going to have people coming and going, man, I remember when Coach coached me X, right? And then it wasn't about coaching; it was about getting my life right. I mean, I told you about the junior high coach I sent across from. He's probably kept. Well, it was interesting. He was asked to be there by someone else who was an All-American that I know, and I said, what was the coach that impacted you the most? And he said, my 7th grade football coach. And I was like, and this guy was All-American, and he's gone on in college to do incredible things. And he said, probably changed my whole life and my path. I've probably been in jail, to sit across and share that with that guy. And he's like, yeah, there were some knuckleheads, and I got to be with them from the time they were 7th grade all the way up to high school, and be in the hallways with them.
Right now at Inola, where I'm coming, it's another thing I'm blessed. My superintendent just got the superintendent's job. He played for me in high school. He was my assistant coach at one time. And then our new football coach is Brett Thomas. He played for me in high school.
Really?
So I got 2 guys, and then
that's great.
One of our assistant principals played for me in high school. So like I said, I'm coaching grandkids of my former players now.
That's great.
And I know the school I've ever been in my life. But me walking into another school system, I'd be so lost of it.
Well, if I took you or like Bill Blankenship and I tried to find your coaching tree, I was doing this for Bill. One day I was kind of like, okay, I know this coach was on a staff. Within like 20 minutes, I had like 7 other trees, of guys that were on his staff that now have their own tree. So when do you stop this? But the legacy that coaching leaves and what it did for me is why I'm here. Wes, are you ready? We're good? Okay, Coach. All right. Hey, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Will you introduce yourself and tell us where you're currently still coaching?
Okay, I'm Clyde Barkley.
Okay.
I've coached at Inola High School in Inola, Oklahoma. It's about 20 miles from here.
Okay. I've
been there. This is my 47th year coaching there, 45th as a head coach.
Wow.
And it's the only school I've ever been to.
Okay. Now, this is your alma mater?
It's my alma mater. I played there from 69 to 73.
Okay.
And then I had a chance to go to Northeastern State and got to play basketball there for 4 years for a guy named Jack Dobbins, who was just such a great role model, great mentor, and I'm really blessed I got to do that.
When did you know you wanted to coach?
When I was about a junior in college, when they said, "Hey, what's your major?" I don't know.
Basketball.
So I thought, you know what? If I could be a coach and have my summers off and work on, and like I said, I live on a ranch. I think it would be perfect. Then I found out basketball got to be year round, where you had to do a lot more basketball in the summertime.
Oh yeah.
But I thought that would be a good fit for me.
Okay.
And then I met my wife we met before we went to Northeastern. We got married when I was a good junior. She's going to be a sophomore, and
okay.
We've been married 48 years now.
Wow.
And great coach's wife.
And she just loves it too.
Oh yeah. So anyway, and she grew up in Mulder, Oklahoma, through playing ball basketball. So
okay.
Her name is Carol Ann, and like I said, it's great. God blessed me on that thing. So
that's
it's
fantastic.
To have a coach's wife like her.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. We've had opportunity now to sit down with so many coaches, and the first thing that really comes up is their spouse and what the teamwork is behind that, right?
Yes.
How many team dinners and how many things has she put together?
I wouldn't be where I am today without her. She's the one she's my rock. She's the one that pushed me to the next level, to do this, to do that. How you need to do this, you know. So I gave her all that credit.
You know, you say something right there, and we talked about this off camera. Is you pushed you to the next level, but you and I know you've had a tremendous amount of success, and we'll get there, okay? But the contentment to be at your alma mater now for so many years. Talk about that. Inola's a great community. It really is. I mean, I had a chance to go other places, but Inola to me is special. Inola has so much tradition in basketball. It won the very first tournament champions back in 1966. I'm a fourth grader, and I see this basketball team come back home after a basketball game. They got beat. They went 30. I think they went 33-1. Okay. Got
beat in the semifinals. Probably the best team in the state, but they got beat by 1 in the semifinals. They come back home. The whole town there meeting them out. I want to be like these guys. I want to be just. I want to be like these guys. I want this. I want to feel like this. And I got a chance to. All those guys are great friends of mine now, and like I said, I got to be one of those guys that been on the road.
So never looked. It's just been something. And I know that you have a ton of coaches that are at pinnacles, right? You've got peers that are other places, but this was what I'm going to wake up and do a great job every day at my alma mater.
I think Coach Dobbins told us, you know, coaching's coaching. I don't care if you're coaching junior high or high school or college.
Okay.
He asked me, "Are you happy?" I said, "Coach, yeah, I'm happy." He said, "I stay right where you're at then."
Man, what great advice.
Inola is, like I said, such a great community, and I love coaching. I had a football coach ask me, "Well, Clyde, why don't you get your bigger job?" I said, "Guys, I got my dream job.
Wow.
I'm content. I'm not saying more. I'm hungry. I want to see Inola be the best basketball team they can be every year. I don't say we're going to do this or do that, but my goal every year to say, I'm going to have this will be my best basketball team they can be this year."
Well, I can tell it in just our brief meeting already this morning that there's no contentment in your competitiveness. And I think sometimes, you know, we let the world talk to us a little bit and say, well, you're content. So he's just out there doing a good job. They're going to have wins and losses and good years and bad years. But I don't feel that from you. It's like you were talking about clinic and when school starts. And, you know, you were ready to roll when you walked in here today. I was scared to death. I thought we were going to run suicides. Is that what they still call them? Or gassers or whatever?
I guess so, yeah.
You know, I'm like, I touched the foul line, go back. I'm having nightmares right now. Talk a little bit about, obviously, you've been recognized for your successes. Talk about what that's meant to you personally, and are you done?
I'm not done yet, no, but, you know, God's put people in my life throughout my career that's helped me on my path.
Okay.
And he does that. For your journey, he puts people in your path. He does. He puts them right. And I have been so blessed for my junior high coaches.
Yeah, let's talk about a few of those.
Well, I started out, my junior high coach was a guy like Roy Whitworth.
Okay.
You know, and I went to a small school called Taiwa, which is a small K-8 school. In my graduating class, we had 8.
Okay.
Really small. I mean, we had like 4 classrooms. We had first, second, one room, third and fourth, one room, fifth and sixth one. You know what I'm saying? It just and then when I went to Inola as a freshman, well, I big timed it. You know.
Oh yeah.
But Roy was my first basketball.
Okay.
Then I went to high school. I got to Inola. Wally Rao was my high school coach.
Okay.
And I had him for 3 years, and he taught me so much. And he played ball at Northeastern. He's the one who contacted Coach Dobbins and, hey, you look at this guy. And Coach Dobbins gave me a shot, and I wound up playing 4 years for that guy.
Was that your only school?
Northeastern.
That gave you a shot?
Oh, I had offers. I had offers.
Because I was going to say you had a great career.
No, I had several offers go.
My daughter says if they can find you on the internet, you're somebody. And I was able to Google your career, so you had some statistics.
Well, thank you very much. But like I said, and then got college like Jack Dobbins. And when I got into coaching, then I got to meeting the Bill Allens and the Ted Owens and all these other former coaches, John Phillips, guys like this. It just really helped my life.
When you say they helped your life, like what is something that you can share that when you were at a point in your career that you reached out to these, what I'm going to call these mighty men, these great, I mean, these are people that I know, and I'm not even a hooper, and so what were some of those discussions when you would reach out to a Bill? What did that feel like?
I would just reach those, Coach, hey, why don't you come by and watch my practice and see what little things you think I can do better.
Okay.
It's Coach Allen was good on little things. Like he could watch one little thing. Hey, if that guy would turn him this way, you'll get him stopped, or you make this guy go this way.
Okay.
They talked about little things.
Yeah.
And that's why. And then Jack Dobbins the same way. He always taught little things make big differences.
Right.
So when I got into coaching, I always find somebody come to my practice.
Okay.
I've had Ken Hayes.
Wow.
Coach Hayes would come to my practices. Bill Allen's and Jack Dobbins and things like that. Larry Gibson's, and watch our practices.
I find it interesting, and I see this even out of, I'm in football, but it's the same thing. Some of the most elite coaches, they're not coming over to give you a play. They're coming over to give you a simple tip. It's a simple observation of, hey, if you just see that kid doing that, and you're like, if he'll just do this, he doesn't come over. It's not like they've handed some kind of playbook out to me. And I've always find that interesting. And I don't know if that's just we make the game more complicated, right? And they've just continued to keep it to fundamentals. But I've just noticed that as an observation, some of the great coaches I'm around. So, okay, let's take this over to where does your faith enter this journey? You clearly have given honor to God and grace around this and your spouse. When did your faith begin?
When I was probably junior high.
Okay.
I was baptized when I was probably about 12, 13 years old. I went to a church called Willie O Baptist Church, and that's where I met the Lord.
Okay.
And I got into the FCA and I used to run the FCA director, and I know a little bit. And I had several coaches that helped me out on that too.
Right.
God, He allowed me to play basketball. I don't know, it's one of those sports. He allows you. He can take that sport away from you. He gives it to you. But He's allowed me to use this as a tool. And why I don't know, but He's allowed me to do this for 40-some years. And I played 4 years of basketball too.
Yeah.
In high school. And to stay in one area that many years.
Yeah.
He's allowed this to happen. And why? I grew up. My parents divorced when I was about 6 years old, and my dad lived in the Texas Panhandle.
Okay.
So the Barkley side of the family lived out there, and my mom's side lived here.
Okay.
So I kind of not a broken home, but both my families loved me. I grew up chasing mom and dad, dad over here, mom over here. And then my grandfather stepped in and kind of raised me since I was about 7 years old, and that's where the ranch part started helping him on the ranch side.
Okay. And that's where home is today.
And that's where home is today.
Yeah. How many generations now on that ranch?
5 generations lived on this place.
Okay. Now, your family, your kids followed you into coaching. Let's talk about that.
Okay. I have a daughter and a son. My daughter's Andy Dickerson. Her husband is a head coach of Fort Gibson, Todd Dickerson. They have two kids, Brady and Bradford, and they love basketball too. So that makes me happy. And then my son Justin, and he's married to Inola Barkley. They got a little girl named Sutton, and she loves sports. I mean, she's in everything you think of too, and so they're involved in sports.
Right.
My son wound up going on to stay in the coaching field. He wound up he played for Northeastern State also, and they won the national championship in 2003.
Wow.
And then they stayed on as a grad assistant. Went up to NEO for a couple of years and got hired on at Rogers State. And a guy named Ren Baker, who's the athletic director of West Virginia right now, hired him. He was at Rogers State.
Okay.
Hired Justin at 29 years old to be the head basketball coach. He's been here ever since. So
really?
Yes.
Oh man, that's great.
So Justin's there, and he's really blessed our whole family.
Man,
he's blessed all of us. And in basketball, he's just a tool that God's allowed us to use.
It's just a vehicle
to do what we're doing.
That's incredible.
I'm just so thankful and blessed. I mean, then I can.
Wow.
Why? I can't say why, but I'll understand that reason why one of these other one of these days, I guess. So
yeah, what is that question going to be when you're going to get there? You're just going to ask him like, why did I?
Why, I was hoping. All I want to say, hey, you did a good job. That's all. When it's all said and done, I hope they say, hey, good job.
Yeah, I want him. I just want him to recognize me, right? That I was someone that was trying to do something for the kingdom, and say, okay, job well done.
That's all you want.
Yeah, it's such a privilege. Let's talk a little bit about like what's your plan right now to rest up and recharge. How are you doing this right now? It's been a few years.
Hey, to recharge, I mean, I don't. For 25 years, I coached 3 sports.
Okay.
I coached junior high football.
Oh, so this is easy now. You just got basketball.
Now, yeah.
Okay.
For 25 years, I coached 3 sports. I was a head baseball coach at Inola for about 18 or 19 years. I coached junior high football a little bit, helped a little bit of high school. Now I got to a point where we're kind of all, you just say in basketball, and that's all I do is basketball. So really to recharge, going to clinics, going to watch my son practice or play whatever, that recharges me.
Okay.
I go and watch their practice. Hey, man, I want to go back. I want to try that. I want to do this. I want to try that drill.
You picking up some tips?
Yes. I'm one of these guys. I tell my players, when you ever quit learning, you'll take a step back. I don't care. I don't know how many years you stay in the business. If you ever quit learning, I mean, if I like the clinic, I went there to find something, just one thing, to make my kids better this summer, or this fall. It was worth my time this week.
I think there's a life lesson in there, Coach.
Yes.
I think the moment we stop learning and living, I think then maybe the race is almost run. And I've seen so many men and women now have gotten the opportunity to sit down with them, and you can see it. You can see your curiosity in you right now at your age. So if you were to give some advice, say I'm a young basketball coach, and I'm just coming out of school, what would you tell me? What would be some tools you'd teach me?
I listened to John Wooden speak one time. We're talking about success. You want to be successful, be the best you can be.
Okay.
And that's what John Wooden taught. It's kind of what his little pyramid deals. And when they talk about the definition of success, be the best you can be. Not best. Don't try to compare yourself to Johnny or Fred or whatever. Hey, you be the best you can be, and you're gonna be successful. And that's what I try to be. I try to be the best I can be. I'm not trying to be somebody else.
Okay.
I'm going to walk in the gym. I'm going to do the best I can with what I got. Whatever the Lord allowed me in Inola basketball, I'm happy. I'm going to take you guys, and we're going to do the best we can. Like I said, my goal every year was we're going to be the best team we can be.
Okay.
Not next year, not last year. This year, we're going to be the best we can be. And then we'll sit back and we'll see what happens.
Now, are you from passion meter here? Okay, on yelling at practice, where do you rank? 10 yelling all the time, 0 not yelling.
I meddled out a lot now. Oh yeah. I ain't like I was 25 years ago.
Okay.
No, but I still have passion.
Yeah.
But I'm not that 25, 30-year-old kid that.
Yeah. Now you're just using it in more the right windows.
Trying to.
Right.
I'm trying to. Every kid's different. You know that in being in sport. Every kid gets motivated different ways, and I just tell my kids it's not personal, it's a business. I'm trying to find your button. I'm trying to get all. I want my kids to get 110%, not 100.
Yeah.
I'm finding that extra 10% somewhere. Hey, you're down 1 with 30 seconds to go. We got to find it.
I had a smart kid a few years back. I was completely being a turkey about it, but he was like, "Coach, if I give you 100%, that's all I have." And my response to him was very simple: well, then clearly what I see in you is more than what you see in yourself, right? And I thought that's what coaches are trying to do, right? With that, you see the little things where they could push it just a little bit more, and they're like, "No, this is all I got," but they don't know that we're trying to drive them and get them to another level. And with that takes pain, and it takes work ethic, and it takes all those things. So, okay, now I want to talk a little bit about when you go to a clinic and you're trying to pick up that tip from another coach. Do you sit in there? Do you put on your own clinics, right? So I mean, what's this look like when you go? Everybody's coming up to you to asking you, "What are you doing, Coach?" You know what?
In our profession, everybody gets something from everybody.
Okay.
What I run is stuff that I got from everybody else.
Okay.
I'm just. If I don't fit my team, I'll find something else. But I try to find something that fits our team. So if what I've done in the past don't work, hey, we're going to find something else.
Okay.
I don't do the same old thing. Whatever's happening, I'm going to do this. I try to adjust. And I
So
think
you're not running the same
got,
system because you've been there for a while.
Yeah, we do a lot of things the same, but we change what we have to change.
Okay.
Am I going to be a zone team? Am I going to be a man team? Am I going to be a running team? I got to slow it down a little bit. Am I going to be? Because I don't know what kind of kids I'm going to have. I'm going to be big. I'm going to be small. What's going to happen here?
Okay.
And that's allowed me to. That's what I like about basketball, is because it's a challenge every year.
Okay.
Every year is a new challenge. It's not like it's the same old grind day, same thing for 30 years. It's different. You walk in that gym October 1st, first day of practice, it's different. You're starting all over again. You're starting new concepts, new different, finding what your kids do, and you try to find your right chemistry.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. Find the chemistry.
Okay.
It's important.
Now, maybe share a story about someone that you've coached and their faith, or just if there's something that comes to mind, or maybe I know you have right now. You have guys that you coach that are coaching. What are those conversations like?
Well, like I said, there's some I'm playing against. Tim Bart's at Sequoia Claremore. We play against him. My son-in-law, I didn't coach him, but like I said, he was one of the best players in the state of Oklahoma when he was in high school. I have to coach against him sometimes, but I think just the faith. I think it's you just want them to do the best they can and be happy for them. I think so.
When you sit down and you talk about your wife, and you sit down and you see all these connections that God's put it out, do you guys talk about that? Do you guys share that?
Oh yeah, we always talk about look at who put in my path this week. Who did I go see? We were talking about the FCA going to, by connections, knowing the Ted Owens, the Bill Allens, and people like that, and Jack Dobbins, and it's so important.
Do those men know what they've meant to you?
Yes, I've told them.
That's awesome.
I make a point to tell those coaches, thank you so much and what you've done for me, because it's a little thing, but it makes it important to me.
Yeah, one of the reasons, and you asked why we started this up, was that right there. I think one of the things that we do as we get older, sometimes we get disconnected, right? And those men have played a tremendous impact on your life, and the fact that you share that with them, they kind of get to live a little bit as you're continuing on doing this, right?
You're right. Like I was telling you a while ago, our superintendent, I watched him from he was a little boy grow up, play for me in high school. Was my assistant one time. Now he's the new superintendent. His name's Jeff Unreal. Brett Thomas, who's played for me in high school basketball. He played football, good football player, basketball player, baseball player. He's coming back to Inola. He played for me. So these guys, to me, to watch these kids grow up from little to see what they're doing adults, that's important to me.
Yeah.
I told my son Justin, when I understand that we're in this business, it's not about X's and O's. It's about personal relationship you have with those kids, because you're an impact. You're a dad.
100%.
You're a dad. You're a friend. You're a coach, but also you're a mentor, and you're setting the tone of that guy's life. You're setting the tone for him, and I think that's important. Like I said, I've had some players that has wrote me letters. Like, Coach, thank you so much for what you done 20 years ago.
Wow.
And and that makes me feel good. I said, you'll see that more and more as you stay in this business.
Okay.
You'll have more of those kind of things that happen to you. And I've had a lot of, hey, Coach, I played for you 30 years ago. Hey, thank you for what you've done for me.
Yeah, I know I'm getting old in coaching. I've been to a wedding this year, and we've seen kids now born and all sorts of stuff of high school kids that I've coached, and you're like, wow, it's just a blessing to be a part of it, right? And just that they honor the term coach as an extension of their family.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the scrimmage, okay? So tell everybody about how this got started, and I know you've honored him and you recognize Bill Allen.
Bill Allen, I've done this for the last, I think this is my 13th year coming. I got to check on that, but anyway, Coach Allen, like I said, was such a good role model to me, and he helped me when he was alive. Get to come to my practices. He took me to the FCA camp at Estes Park, Colorado, and I worked his basketball camp when he was alive. He had a basketball camp called Camp of Champions. I worked his camp. Okay. Anyway, so his health was getting kind of bad, and Chris Kaiser asked me if I do something for FCA in his honor. I said, well, I think I'll do maybe a scrimmage. do a little scrimmage, and then we'll just take that money and put it toward FCA.
Okay.
So it started out that way, and we started Rusty Stickler over at Broken Arrow. We helped me out a little bit, and we both went and did it, and we started over there. Had 8 teams.
Okay.
And we did that for a couple of years, and I thought I'll move this to Inola and did it over at Inola. I think Rusty was getting out at the time, and so I continued to do it. So the most we've had was almost 20 teams, and right now it stays around 16 to 20.
Okay.
And they're all class 4A, 5A schools down. But what we do is we started this, and all the money we make, we give it to FCA for kids to go to camp in the summer.
Okay.
For scholarship money type deal. And like I said, this is my 13th year doing it, and I feel so blessed by doing this. And one day we do it for, and I'm so thankful. And Edie Bill out his daughter will come spend the time with us that day, and it's a way of me to pay it back for coach. So just a little thing that, and Edie's always say, you don't have to do this no more. Yeah, I do. Edie, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Bill had that big an impact in my life, so I want to do it as long as I can.
Yeah.
So,
can you imagine how many campers have just been impacted from your 13 years?
I hope so. I don't know how many years, I don't know how many kids that go each year because of that. But in my heart, if one kid, just one kid can change his life for a scholarship to go to change it to be a better person or be the person he wants to be, that's worth my time doing it. Just one. Just one.
Yeah.
And that I'm not. That's all I want.
Yeah, I think that's it's. I've heard that now in so many of these talks that I've had the opportunity to do. Is just they're not talking about the many. All the coaches have sat across from me and talked about the one, right? And they're living that one to make that one impact and see what that one impact did.
But that one impact you make could make an impact for somebody else or another group. You just plant the seed.
Yeah.
All you did, you set that seed and let it grow.
So that scrimmage isn't shutting down anytime soon, huh?
Not as long as I'm here.
I love it.
As long as I'm here.
I'm sure someone will even pick it up even when that's
I
done.
hope so.
When the
really
kingdom
hope
work
so.
is there. I think you've got a bunch of guys that you've coached that would probably take that baton
I
on
hope
too.
so.
So let's. I want to transition just a little bit. So what's it look like now? And do you and your wife talk about? I mean, is there a talk of hanging this up? And I mean, is it just you look like you're ready to go tomorrow? I mean, I feel like the ball's been rolled out. And like we're coaching.
I get that question so many times every day. How many more years, Barkley? How many more years? And I'm not going to say yet. I'm just like I said, I still enjoy it.
Okay.
There's not one day I don't get up and can't look forward to going to school.
Wow.
I don't dread. Like I said, I've been retired. I retired after 37 years in the classroom and coaching, so I'm 10 years past that. I enjoy going to school. I enjoy going to practice.
Okay.
I enjoy going to get. Now our schedule's got a little tougher now. So those wins come a lot harder.
Yeah.
But
your farm school's grown a little bit.
It has. It has.
But I appreciate it. I hope you stay after it for another decade.
Well,
Lord,
he'll let me know. And I always tell
it sounds like he's been involved in your life.
He has. He's been in every step. From my playing days to my coaching days. I mean, he just blessed my family. There's nothing I can. Just thankful. So thankful.
If I could give you just a few minutes, to just turn it over, and what would you say to your family?
Thanks for being there.
That's it? That's all I get out of you, Coach?
Thanks for support. Thanks for being that. It's
Take your time.
I wouldn't be there without them.
When you look back on your legacy and you get the opportunity to have so much of an impact, and I hear it in your voice today, but then I see the true emotion and the passion that comes out from you when you talk about your family.
Yeah.
And so it's a privilege just to sit across from you and you share this.
Hey, thank you very much.
I hope that when they see this, I hope that we've honored them. I know your legacy will live on. If I can ever do anything, you look me up. I'm a fan now. I'll look up on the news and make sure that you get as many wins as you can. But I know that you're winning off the court, and that's really the privilege to get to meet you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Coach.
And thank you very much. Thank you.